Hi again. I'm here with Sergio to do our little gallery tour. This tour we do specifically to give people an idea of size and context, and I guess standing next to the painting, Sergio can tell you a little bit about it, but we actually see the works in size and perspective. So Sergio, welcome back on this really cold day. Tell us about the bit about this. It's Menindee Lakes.
Sure.
And not cold. Doesn't look cold.
It's actually quite warm in the gallery, so
it is.
it'll
Yeah,
be
but this is beautiful.
that was a road trip we did to Broken Hill and then Menindee Lakes. Stayed in an old pub with corrugated iron bedrooms, so it was all very romantic. And went every night. The pub owner gave us his four-wheel drive, and he had a holiday in Queensland, so that's how casual they were.
Oh, wow.
And so we went every evening and got the sunset and reflected into the water. All the trees are dead, Menindee Lakes, and it was full of water at that particular time, which later on you've probably seen in the press. But the interesting thing is it's acrylic, so I do thin, watery, thick and thin at the same time, and then draw into it, so I get lots and lots of nuances through the painting. With the thick and the thin. And this, it's hard to get this sort of sunset in Sydney.
Oh, then the result is beautiful. Let's move on. We were talking before, you were talking about your snow series. So these works on paper are a little bit jumbled as far as theme, but this is one of the snow
trips.
different trips.
You see it down there. But this is we did a lot of walks in the bush, and you can see even though it's representing nature, it's sort of slightly blurry and abstracted, and I'm using other materials in there, whether it's ash or other oxides, and trying to get interesting effects.
And the colours
not
are
just
beautiful. So this one, and I'm not going to try and hurry you up too much, but we've got less than 15 minutes to get through it.
No
so if you just do little short bits on some and longer bits on others.
And I did trips and walks around the Harbour in Sydney, and this is a sort of an abstracted view of the experience: coastline, sun, water, but not sort of, divine
colour.
Thank you.
And if you stood next to this one, I would say you were wearing that shirt on the day you painted it.
It looks like it, doesn't it? But, well, that's from details of burnt, gnarly trees and rocks. So I've made a painting. And the thing that most artists have is what you call innocent perception, and it helps people not to be higher in consciousness and not worry about life so much, because they live in the moment. So, and it's also the doorway to heaven, if you want to say. So painters look at something and they see it for the first time. So I tend to look at the colours and sort of just imagine, the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And this is another one which is totally different. We had a holiday in Vanuatu, and I was pretty well obsessed with the flotsam, which is not, wrapping paper and straws and all that. It was the flotsam, seeds and leaves and coconuts from the islands, and I've always liked
flotsam.
I've always liked islands
and is that another Sydney one?
No. That's the a trip to Point Plumber, and a friend of mine
Yes.
took me up the sand track up to Point Plumber, and he said, I've got this fabulous waterhole. So I went to see the waterhole, and there were all water lilies in it and everything, and leaves, and so I've done a whole series of paintings of the reflections and the grasses, and well, these are all the autumn series, but then they become like colour field paintings. So later on I'll probably do a 6-foot painting of some of
like
these.
a study for
Yeah,
a much
but
larger work.
well, yeah, it's big stuff. But
These are
this
quite
is
large.
really built up, and it's got other materials in there, clay and ash and other ones built up, and then while it's wet, you draw into it. So there's sort of painting and drawing, which is in these. All these are painting and drawings.
Yeah. No.
And
Now,
this is the flotsam from Vanuatu.
that's lovely. So
Yeah.
I can see the colours much the same. And Sergio, we have some spares, so just to let people know, we have put most things on the catalogue, but for those that come in, or if you really think there's something else that I might have that isn't on the catalogue, just ask me and I will photograph it for you and send it to you, because there's certainly, we could not hang everything. Sergio, you've just been so busy, and I get it that, you know, so many artists are so passionate to paint, and then it's very hard to then try and cut the 65 paintings you gave me down to the 25 we needed to hang.
Well, you've got to do a lot to get the best ones out.
You have, and I think we've got the best ones here. So congratulations, it's a beautiful show. So
This is the autumn series, and then it starts getting more luscious and more luscious with thicker and thicker paint.
yeah, and if you can get the camera right up close, that paint and texture is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Lovely. So this one came in late, and unfortunately it's not on the wall. But if we can get a picture, I think that is one of the. I'll just remove some of the.
That's the autumn series, and you can see there's a lot of drawing in there while it's wet with oil stick and pastels and different sticks to remove paint.
And we've got a big painting hanging on the wall there again. Is that
That's
part
the
of?
water
That's the this one up here is the water lily.
No, the water holes.
Right. Okay. And this one, I have to say, I always have a favourite painting. I will tie all these little tags up, Sergio, before our visitors arrive. But this one, simply beautiful. And a lady phoned and bought this going up to Brisbane. It's but again, this is probably my favourite. I shouldn't have favourites, but
Well, that's the Vanuatu flotsam,
it's beautiful.
but it's become like an abstract painting. Yeah.
And I'll just move some chairs so we can keep going around.
Yeah, and some of the autumn series are becoming more and more abstract.
Now, Sergio, one question about this little one here.
Yeah.
It's not on the catalogue for anyone that is interested. It's a little baby. So you don't paint small, you tend to paint big. But we do have this gorgeous little one. And does it have a name? Tidal.
Something.
Yes, Tidal. Well, I'm not sure if
I
it's
can
on
do
that.
300 small if you like.
But anyway, if you're looking at that one, it's not on the catalogue, so don't feel you've missed something. This is the one I'd love to talk about. It's this one.
They're the Point Plumber series.
Well, come in and tell us a little bit about these, because these are beautiful. This is
It's
another one of my
Queen's
favourite.
Head at Point Plumber. So the incredible rocks and water went right in the winter, and then I've drawn into it. You can see. And try and get.
I think that's an
luscious
incredibly beautiful painting. That one. It's probably harder for an online audience, but the texture, the paint work is absolutely.
And this is a gouache with pastel and that's in that same area where these rocks go into the sea, and so this is gouache watercolour.
And the big one, is that?
Oh well, that's actually from
the waterhole.
No, that's a trip. You wouldn't think so. That's Sydney Harbour.
Well, I would
You
with
wouldn't
that
think
blue.
so.
Yeah, no, it's
But,
Sydney Harbour blue.
And just the trips from.
No, this I love the colour. It's a lovely.
Oh,
big
Spit
abstract.
Bridge to Middle Harbour.
Oh.
There's incredible sort of views, and you can look down. It looks as if you're painting from the sky.
Oh, I love the colour. Now, Sergio, there's a couple here that didn't get framed. We sort of ran out of time. They will be framed. They're priced as framed in the catalogue, but they don't have frames on them yet.
These three are the snow series.
Yeah, so I've tried to keep them together where I can. And there's a little that little one down the bottom, I'm rather partial to that. It's rather sweet. It's
Sydney Harbour, and there was bushfires there, and I thought it looked very different to the normal
very
romantic Sydney Harbour.
it is. Now we've nearly finished. You're going to finish off with, remember I said my favourite painting was over here.
And this one looks as if there's a big storm and there's an avalanche or something.
Because we were talking about that one before. It's fabulous.
Because I could have kept painting, but I would never get that again.
Nice.
So I left it, and it sort of, reminds you of the wind and what the snow can do.
Well, this is the last one. We're going to finish with another one of my favourites. Do you want to talk a little bit about this one? Because I love it, and there's so much texture in this. And is it the snow country again? This one?
Yeah, it's the countryside around Jindabyne, and it's very thick and luscious. You can see the thick paint, and it was on the property where we went to, and I was able to draw and sketch and go to the snow country and get something different.
Beautiful framed, beautiful on the sandstone wall, but
and
it looks lovely on a plain wall too.
And
it's on board. That one.
It's on pretty thick board, so
it's fabulous.
Yep.
Well, that finishes our tour.
Thank you
Thank you, Sergio.
Thank you.
It was most enlightening. The exhibition is beautiful.
Thank
Congratulations. And for everyone that can't get here to the gallery, I hope this has helped you make a selection or just enjoy the beautiful work, because it's really lovely. Don't forget, everything's online, and we're open with this exhibition until, we're open all the time of course, but this exhibition running until the 4th of July. So thank you again, and thank you, Sergio.
Thank you.